the curvature. Stacey, I'll be flying out to the East Coast with no land in sight and with a normal camera, and I will take a photo and I'll send it to you. And if you can't see the curvature in that, I don't know.
And you said it could only be done from the cockpit?
What's that?
That you can only see the curvature from the cockpit, correct?
Well, because you're up the front, you can't really see it from the side because your windows is such a small view, wide ways, if you know what I mean.
All right, this
From the-
cockpit window flat.
From
Or
the
the curve.
cockpit, from the cockpit, you got like 250 degrees.
Are these windows flat? The verge of curve?
Yeah, they have to be, because here's a really funny thing. Runways are straight. And if we have curved runways, if we have curved windscreens to make the Earth look curved to fool us, then we're not going to be able to land on runways very well. Check yourself. You didn't think about that, did you?
Are runways flat? I'm just fucking with you, Jazza. I'm just check yourself. I'm just messing.
Stacey.
Hey, Jazza, don't you find it kind of interesting that they treat the runways? In fact, they trained you to treat the runways as stationary and level, you know? But if it's a spinning ball, it'd be a different situation when you're landing, you know, completely. That's the funny part.
Right?
Well, no, the funny part is, new perspective is that I understood by becoming a pilot how the heliocentric model works. And so I find it funny that you think that runways should be moving. I find that fucking hilarious. I find that even funnier than Jimmy Carr, the
I don't think they should be moving. You got me wrong. I think they're stationary. You're the one that thinks they should be moving, but you treat them as stationary. That's the funny part.
Okay, so you've just changed that because you've just said that because what I just heard you say the other night, you were just like a Jimmy Carr, the funniest British comedian.
Okay, what'd I say?
Well, I'll say Jimmy Carr's joke with Stacey. Okay, Stacey B, do you know Jimmy Carr? Because I don't want to say this joke, Stacey, if you don't know Jimmy Carr.
Just say it. Just say it.
Offensive.
Go on, Uncle Jazza.
Okay, Jimmy Carr, he's a very famous comedian. He's worth millions of dollars. His one-off joke the other night was, I gave my girlfriend an orgasm last night. She spat it right back in my face.
I didn't say anything like that, actually.
I never said you did. I said I was going to say a joke. Stacey, I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay. You were trying to like avoid the whole like treating the Earth as stationary, but it's actually moving some weird thing like that, right?
Well, that would be counteracting the rotation. So I guess that would be trying to help the Earth not rotate. I don't know how it being flat, but
yeah, well, it doesn't rotate because it can't rotate if you're treating it as stationary when you're landing your helicopter, plane, or whatever.
Yeah, well, that's if you're very simply minded and you didn't understand the heliocentric model to begin with, which is a very indication because you think the Earth's flat. So
no, it has to be stationary if that's the way pilots are trained to treat it. I mean, there's no other way around it.
No, I was never trained to treat it like that, and I don't know why.
You were trained to treat it like a spinning ball? That's interesting.
No.
Okay.
No, hang on. Why would you be trained, like if you're flying off an aircraft carrier that's going at 30 knots, why would you be trained to fly off something that's going at zero ground speed?
I don't know, man. I just know that they treat it like it's stationary, and there's no way to actually train them that way if it's not stationary.
Oh yeah, Quantum Erections showed you that shit. It's complete.
No, I have
fucking
nothing to do with
bullshit.
him. It's my own argument. It's just logic, basic common sense.
Okay,
I mean,
well, if
anybody can realize that. I mean, what would be the differences be if it was a
If
spinning
it's
ball
that
compared to a
open-
stationary? Just tell us what the difference would be and how you would fly.
You don't
What's the
have to. You
Oh,
don't
okay.
have
So
to.
you fly like it's stationary, but it's actually a spinning ball.
Yeah,
Does that
that's
really
so
make
crazy.
sense to you? There'd be
You
no
just
difference.
said that you when you flew that you realized now everything, and now you're explaining that you're going bases on flat and stationary. I what?
Yeah, there'd be no difference if it was stationary and flat and how you would fly, right? You're admitting that.
No, that's not what I'm admitting.
Oh, okay. What are the differences then on how you
Okay.
fly over a spinning ball compared to stationary and flat?
Okay, do you agree that this is very basic bullshit?
I'm not a pilot.
Very-
You are. You could just tell us the differences.
Yeah.
List them off.
Yeah, this is very basic but shit. So
Yeah,
you
tell
know
us how
the
it's different.
you know the hour hand on a clock.
Okay.
Do you not?
Oh, like I wouldn't know an hour hand on a clock. Is that a real question?
Yeah, it's a real.
Sounds like you're
fucking
trying to
question.
avoid that you
Yep.
don't have any differences, that you think there are any
It's
differences.
new
Are there
Is
any
the
differences?
ground
Stop
fucking
talking
moving,
at the speaker.
Jazza? When you're in the sky, is the ground moving beneath you?
It's not moving at a fucking 1,000 miles an hour, and I wouldn't expect it to.
Oh, how
I
fast
don't
is
know
it
why
moving?
you guys do expect it to.
How fast is it moving?
If I'm hovering above it, it's moving at 0 speed. That's what hovering means.
Okay, yeah, so then it moves though, right?
Yes.
Okay, how fast does it move when you're not hovering over it?
When it's not hovering over it, either I'm going forwards and I'm doing 120 knots, or I'm going backwards and I'm doing 20 knots.
No, I'm talking about the Earth moving, like east, west to east.
Jesus Christ, I don't have an instrument in my fucking helicopter to tell me how fast the fucking sun's moving over me.
No.
I
But
didn't say
wouldn't
sun,
you
I
need
said
to
Earth.
know if you're flying when you're landing, what the ground's doing?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you need to have
Yeah,
information like
you
that.
would need that. If it was actually moving, you would definitely have to know that.
Yes, and you're looking at the ground.
Yep. And it should be moving if we're on a ball.
So I look at it, therefore I can understand the speed that it is moving. That is just
Yeah, that would be
not
important.
And hang
For the safety of everyone involved.
hang on. If the wind is 20 knots on my nose and I'm flying at 100 knots, that means I'm moving over the ground at 80 knots. Comprehend?
And compared to the ground movement, and compared to how fast the ground movement, how fast is
No,
the ground
you
moving?
don't
compared
have
to
to fucking think about that, because it's just like what I
because
said
it's not
before.
moving. That's the only way
No
you could not think
shit.
about that.
Why don't you listen?
Well, the only way that you could not have to worry about
Hang
that
on.
is if it's not moving. That's just the basic facts of life.
Hang on, dipshit. Why don't you listen? It's like a
Oh, you're
fucking
calling me
aircraft
dipshit?
carrier.
That's so ironic.
Yeah, you
right
are.
now.
You
So
are.
ironic.
Full names.
Because
Yes,
you're the
we're just
pilot.
trying to talk and learn. And I mean, for me, I'm sorry, but I'm sitting here going, well, are all runways
Okay,
going in the same
Stacey.
direction? What if they're going in the opposite direction and it's
Yeah,
now
what about
moving
that?
at a totally different speed
Okay,
in the
Stacey.
opposite
That would be
direction?
important for your life, for the safety of your life and anyone else
Stacey.
flying with you. Right?
Really?
Stacey, I'm gonna have to go. I love you long time, but your
I would run
Long
away.
time too.
doesn't know fucking
I would
shit.
run faster than this. Even I would just run because you're caught. You're caught. The
Yeah.
only way it could be stationary. The only way it could be you can treat it as
I'm
stationary. is if
caught
it's
in
actually
the
stationary.
fucking trap of flat Earth dumb fuckery. The cult.
Yeah, it's dumb
keeps
fuckery to
revolting.
call you out on something that you have to admit right now is not going to be moving if you're treating it as stationary. That's common sense, bro.
I'm not even going to talk to you
Yeah,
because
you have no answer, and no baller does. No Glover
you
does. There is no answer for this. This is the end of the
because
debate. You are now a flat earther, even if you don't
Dipshit.
admit it. You've realized
Now,
that it
Jazza,
can't be
can I
moving
be
if
for
you're
real with
treating it
you?
as stationary.
Stacey,
No, I'm gonna be real
Stacey,
honest with you
Stacey
as your
first.
friend. No,
This-
I'm gonna
this
go
dick
first.
shit.
I'm gonna go first. I don't care
Hang
about
on,
your
hang on,
comments.
Stacey.
This woman's
No,
gonna come
because your
down on
name
you harder
calling,
than
I
This
don't
dick
care
shit
about.
is the same
you're
as
about to
quantum
get your
erection.
lickings. You're about to get
stop.
your lickings.
Don't believe this
Because
fucklist.
Just
everything that-
insulting someone's name is your go-to. Really, you have to go there. You don't have any comeback, do you? Because you know it's
he's not
stationary.
done one
Don't just
thing
shut the
besides you
fuck up,
sat
evil
here and called
speakers.
them names. He said the same thing that I'm saying, and all you're doing is screaming at him, calling him names. You might as well call me a dipshit too while you're at it. Then
Yeah,
I'd never do that.
that's your only go-to because you know it can't be moving.
I know you won't call me
Treating it as
names, but the thing is, you're sitting here calling people names that are doing the same thing that I'm doing. Think about it. Your answer, listen, I'm coming from, I don't know shit about flying. And you're my friend and I'm asking you about it. But if you're going to sit here and tell me that you fly and you don't have to know anything about the ground and it's moving, I'm going to sit here and shake my head. If you have no instrument to tell you the speed of the ground and which direction, right, too, because the planet is rotating, that to me doesn't make any damn sense logically. And if that to you want to try to explain to me somehow, and besides calling someone a dipshit, would be nice, but instead you're not. You're going to run.
Well, he has no other choice. Otherwise, he has to say you're right.
I'm not running. I'd love to
love you
stay.
too, but it's real. I'm just being real with you because that's what I do with my friends.
I'm not running. I'd love to stay, but just your friend, fucking what's his handle? Oh yeah, new
I called you out
perspective.
on the fact that there's no way that the ground could be moving if you're treating it as stationary.
Yeah.
I called you out on that.
Yeah, that's because you're a dumb fuck and you think
Oh
you know
yeah,
everything.
just calling me a name makes sense, right? That's your answer, really. That doesn't solve your problem. If the ground's moving,
Okay.
you can't treat it as
Okay.
stationary when you land.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, hang on.
What's your
I
answer?
won't call you a dumb fuck.
I don't care what you call me.
I
It makes
will
no difference.
retract that, and you
I
are.
don't care what you call me. It makes no difference at all.
What a dumb fuck.
Hang on. I've retracted that, and I will call you direct proof live in concert
Idiot pilot.
of the
Okay.
fucking Dunning-Kruger.
Stupid man.
Yeah,
You
that's a
think
really
you're
good
smarter
go-to
than
there.
any motherfucker in the world.
I've
No,
never
you
really
do.
seen a better example of projection. You're projecting better than anyone else.
You're doing
has
it.
ever projected.
You are doing it right now more than anyone else. Right now more than anyone else. When anyone else
I'm
in the
rubber and
world.
your glue. Is that what you're
Yes.
going to? I'm rubber,
Okay,
your glue.
I don't want to mute people. Could you please talk one at a time?
Shazza, you know what? If you're gonna sit here and call people names and they're talking like I am, if you do that again, I'm not. No offense, I'm gonna sit here, but I'm not gonna entertain conversations with you, even though I do think you're a good person deep down. I refuse to even talk to you then because you're making me look at you like a total different person, and I don't respect you right now because I think how you speak to people is how you should speak to me. The same way, I mean, the other way around. How you speak to me, I mean, is how you should speak to them. And you're not. So if you can't speak to them like you speak to me, you're showing me that you're not being a good person. And I don't want to entertain conversations with you then. So I'm asking you nicely, if you're going to talk in here, please don't call names or I'm done.
It's an offense against the globe more than anything because he has no answer to the challenge that I brought. So he had to go to the name calling. And that means the globe has no answers and it just has to like go to some kind of ad hoc. And that's really sad, bro, for your globe.
Well, you've got 8.8 billion people to convince. But anyway, Stacey, no.
I don't care about convincing anybody, dude. It's just common sense. You can't land a plane or a helicopter on a moving surface if you're treating it as stationary. Period. That's it. It's over. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over. It's over right there. It's been over. That
Yeah,
argument ends the debate. I don't know.
can
You
you
have no
make
answer. Like you have an answer? Do you have an answer?
And Stacey's not going to talk to you anymore, so like you might as well
Can you
leave.
make a poster child for the Dunning-Kruger effect?
Yeah, I'll put your face on it.
No, very, very sorry. And I'm not going to talk to any of these
Yeah, because you have no answer.
incredibly intelligent,
How do you
fucking
treat it as
retarded
stationary if it's moving?
non-cunts.
How do you treat it as stationary if it's moving? How do you treat it as stationary if it's moving? How do you treat it as stationary if it's moving? There is no answer. It's over.
By watching
Done.
the
No
rotation,
globe.
you dumb cunt.
Bye-bye, ball. Bye-bye, ball.
Bye-bye, dumb fuck.
Perfect. I hope that's your exit.
No, it's not. I'll be back.
It should be.
So what's going to happen is 270 million dumb fucks around the earth that
think that the earth is
join
moving. Treated as stationary.
No.
Pilots and helicopter people.
What the fuck? Do you think that 8 billion people are going to think that you're right?
Ad populum and ad hom. How many more fallacies are we going to commit?
Why do you guys need to bring fallacies if your facts are straight?
Well, if the Earth is moving and you're treating it as stationary, how do you land the plane or a helicopter?
Shouldn't need to bring fallacies. You should just have
No,
facts.
I'm not. No, exactly. Go back to the actual point.
All the facts you claim is fake, you dumb cunts.
Yeah, I don't even need the fallacies. You're just doing it because you have no answer.
No, I do.
Oh, what's the answer?
Give
How
me
do
a
you
question.
treat the Earth as stationary when you land your helicopter if it's actually moving?
Because you're taking off from a stationary fucking thing.
Oh yeah, it's stationary. You're right. You're taking off from a stationary Earth and landing on a stationary Earth. There you go. That's the only way it works.
Okay, so dipshit, when you fucking sneeze in the back of a car and you throw your fucking tissue, does it go flying out the back window?
Oh man, I didn't think about that.
Oh,
Good
you
point.
dumb cunt.
That's a good point. You got me there.
Even put a marble in the middle of your tissue and just
Oh yeah, there you go.
chuck it over your back
That
shoulder.
proves
Give it some mass.
Make it a blue marble, right? Make it a little blue marble, just like the Earth.
Jazza, did you mean to just say? Hold on. Did you mean to just say that you're taking off from a stationary thing? You just said that.
That's because he knows it intuitively. Because he flies. There's no way to fly other than intuitively treat it like stationary and land on it like a stationary. Otherwise, you're in trouble.
Did you mean to just say that?
Gio, I was trying to give an example, but I'm so frustrated with the dumb fuckery that your cult members have.
I bet you
I did say that, and I bet you'll fucking use that out of context, which is what you do all the time.
Out of context.
Well, I'm asking you the context. You just said you're taking off from a stationary thing. I'm asking you what you meant by that.
What I said was, if you're taking off from an aircraft carrier that's doing 30 knots and a helicopter takes off over the deck of the aircraft carrier, the helicopter is hovering, but in relation to the shore, the helicopter is moving at 30 knots with the aircraft carrier.
So then what happens when you fly to a different tangential velocity, like towards the equator where it's a lot faster?
Wait. Who the fuck just said liar?
Doesn't matter.
Some dumb cunt just said liar.
Well, you want to focus on that, I bet.
Yeah. Jazza, just stop with all the attacks, dude. It just makes for a dumpster fire, and it's not a real discussion. So,
well,
didn't your mom tell you if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all?
Didn't your mom tell you when you can't explain how to land a helicopter on a moving surface when it's actually treated as stationary? Didn't your mom tell you that just go ahead and call names when that happens, because otherwise you're done?
So it must have been you perspective that said liar when I said about the ground speed.
Wasn't me.
So it wasn't you, so it was some other dumb.
Yeah, why do you want to focus on that? Because you have no answer to the question that I was asking you?
What fucking question did you ask me this time that I haven't
Well, if you go towards the equator where it's a lot faster spin, right? Because it's 1,000 at the equator and then it tapers down to the poles, right? So how are you taking off from an area that's not as fast and then landing on a faster area and treating it like it's stationary? How are you doing that?
Because it takes time to travel there.
Right? So you're correcting. You're consciously correcting for the spin of the Earth? Is that what you're saying?
You have to fuck all.
You do? Okay, so you do actually correct for the spin of the Earth. You have a gauge in your...
Well, hold on.
I don't know how or why you would expect that would have to be a constant every fucking second thing to be done.
I didn't say it would be, but I'm saying if it was moving, you would have to do something,
You're making it out to be a big point.
Well, it is a big point because you can't treat it as stationary and actually land on a moving surface.
It's very easy to land on a moving surface.
Oh, really? How? You just treat it as stationary? Don't worry about it?
No.
How do you do it?
I'm not even going to fucking do this.
Oh, yeah, because you can't.
What is the equation or anything that you guys use to account for that then, sweetheart? Because you guys say you
Okay,
account for it, then
Stacey.
what is the instrument or what are you using? So when you're judging that as you're flying the plane, what are you doing?
Okay, Stacey.
How do you
can,
account for the spin of the Earth
okay,
and land
Stacey.
on it?
I can
Like, you're
talk
just
to you
stationary.
because I can't talk to these dumb cunts. They fucking make me.
I'm
You can't,
asking a
because you have no
specific
answers.
question
That's
to the
why.
group.
Okay, so if the ship always points into the wind, right? And the ship's doing 30 knots.
Mhm. Yeah.
Does everyone concur what 30 knots means?
Oh yeah, we got to go back to that. An hour hand. Do you know what the hour hand on a
No, we're
clock
not
is?
going back to that dipshit. Either you get it or you don't.
Y'all have a nice day. For real though. I have to go.
Take care,
Been good.
Stacey. This is fun.
Try to keep your energy positive and a good vibe
Stacey.
because trust me, this kind of stuff, honey, including you, Jazza, can actually eat at your soul. It's not good. Bring it back
Stacey,
to something good, Jazza.
Stacey, if you're going, you keep me calm, and I can't be fucked talking to these motherfuckers.
Hey, Jazza, for your own safety, I recommend just continue to treat the Earth as if it's completely stationary and level, and you'll be okay. Don't even think about it. It's supposedly spinning. You know, don't even think about that. Don't try to account for anything. Don't try to think about it moving when you're landing. Just treat it as stationary, and you'll be fine because it's stationary.
Trouble is, I won't be able to find shit I'm searching for.
How's that? Because you think about the spinning of the city that's going faster than where you took off from, and then you have to catch up to it. And when you get there, you're like, oh man, I got to like line myself up and be in perfect sync with this tangential velocity. Otherwise, I'm going to probably wreck this thing. So I don't know how I would have gotten here if I didn't have my globe in the fucking cockpit with me, looking at the globe spinning and realizing that the Earth is spinning at this speed. And I only started out with this conserved momentum. Now I have to add momentum, even though that's impossible. So I had to accelerate. And then, oh man, I got there. I accelerated fast enough to get there. But then I had to continue accelerating as I'm slowing down to land. And that was a real problem. Oh my God, you're right. You would be lost if you didn't have your globe in the cockpit with you.
No, not even close, dipshit.
Oh, how's it work?
Well, just from the 10 minutes of what you said.
Mm-hmm. I must have got it wrong. You tell me how it works.
Well, I could have done a fucking search pattern for a fucking long way to find someone that was in trouble on their way to Antarctica, mind you. We've had to put long-range fuel tanks on to do that before.
Oh, really? And then do you have to calculate how fast the person that you're looking for is moving with the spinning Earth so that you could catch them, or make sure you're in sync with them when you're trying to rescue them? Like, how did you do that? How did you make sure that you were spinning at the same exact speed that they are when you find them?
I'm going for a smoke, and I'm going to come back.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
And if you could not be such a paranoid, ignorant asshole,
Not being paranoid. I'm just curious. I'm just curious if you
Can
have
you
any
admit
answers.
that you were wrong, Mr. Pilot? Can you admit it?
That would be amazing.
Yeah, if you could admit now that you were wrong, it would be very amazing.
Be actually the best thing you've ever done in my eyes, ever. It would give you so much credit right now. Yeah, that smoke is more important.
Of course.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. Wow.
All that globe smoke.
He's going to smoke a globe.
Yeah.
So
where is
what are
gravity?
you
Where is gravity when he exhales?
What are you ships doing? What's this I'm missing out on? What are you ships talking about?
Maybe Danny Faulkner has an answer. He's in here. Danny, do you have an answer how the helicopter pilot treats the Earth as stationary and then is somehow landing on a moving surface? You got an answer for that, Danny Faulkner? No, I didn't think so. There is no answer for that.
Was that like a general question to the room or specifically to Danny Faulkner?
Oh, that was to him, but I don't, unless he has an answer, somebody else can answer. Anybody. Anybody? Bueller? Bueller?
He thinks the world is like a flopping bird, the game Flopping Bird, where the helicopter just stands in one position and the Earth is just rotating around. That's amazing if he believes that. Wow.
Yeah, it's like all this like it's this kinematic conception that they have that it just works. It just works. It all spins together, but you can go wherever you want, and it's not spinning together, but it is together, and one reference frame, but two reference frames, and it's all just somehow. Yeah, I don't have to worry about it. The wind, it's all lost in the winds.
Yes. Wow. Amazing.
It is amazing.
But
really
he will
calls for
first
trial.
get very, very angry and frustrated, like I did when I realized, start to wake up. So this is his journey.
Yeah, I think the alcohol must help in the smokes to keep yourself convinced that nothing that I said made sense, and I must be a dumbass. And even though he
Yes,
had
and
no
he's
answer.
hiding behind 8 million people, and he thinks that having the majority makes him right.
Yeah, I guess that's his go-to. I mean,
Yeah,
must be a lot of other people that are crashing planes.
that means the Nazis must have been right.
Are we doing Groundhog Day again, guys?
Groundhog Day.
Well, planes do land every second, as if the Earth is stationary. I don't know what that tells you, but seems like that's the only way
Oh
it could be.
no, no, I was saying, you know how Jazza, he always cigarette every morning.
Oh, he comes in with like, you guys, you dumb fucks, I got nothing.
I got nothing.
Pardon the interruption. Yeah. Is it just like maybe like they're like hip cucks, sort of like? Is that possible?
Hip
Like
cucks?
they're hip cucks. They're flat earthers on the inside. But they have to like cuck to reality. Like
Ah, yeah, hipster cucks. Like, I'm cool enough to talk to flat earthers at least. Kind of like King of the Nerds. What was that from? Breakfast Club? Showing my age.
I'm trying to think of that guy that's been on Rogan several times.
Elon Musk.
He's like a Harvard physics guy, but he's also like a truth seeker.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know who
the guy that writes the books?
Yeah, he's like on lots of interviews and stuff. He brought it down to like basically that like even though people know that professional wrestling is fake, they still watch it anyway for the entertainment of it. That they're hip to the idea that like it is fake, but they're kind of like cucked down to it because they still want something to believe in.
Yeah, they're like, my wrestler does actually get hurt. And the ball really does spin, even though you treat it like it's stationary when you fly a plane. So funny. Those Flat Earth Friday guys, I was on there last night talking about this actually. Went through 3 different dudes. One guy that worked at CERN, he didn't have an answer to that question either. The Twitter guys, the Flat Earth Friday nights.
CERN? How's it feel? He worked at CERN?
He worked at CERN, yeah. How's it feel? What's it like? What's it like?
What is it like?
Nobody else will get that. But like yeah, he works at CERN, right? But yeah, he was. Then he came back talking about how complex the flatness problem is with the universe, and it's so complex, no one's going to understand it. Blah 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 blah. That's a good show. It goes all night. It went all night long. They do it on Friday nights on Twitter, and it's called Fighters Fridays. And the brothers are on there, man. The brothers get it. Once the brothers get it, man, it's over. They were talking about every detail, with high understanding of everything. Very, very good handle on all the current arguments with the ether and the angles to Polaris and all of it. It was good.
All right. Yeah, the argument has grown and diversified.
Yeah, it really is. It's over worse than it was over when you left for a little while. It was already over then, but now it's even more over. Right, Danny?
Just letting the air out of the ball here.
Yeah, it's been deflated. Now
It's like at the end of the game, like when the game's been decided already, they just dribble the air out of the ball. Yeah.
Yeah. Now the ball's been like completely flattened, and they're just kind of like moving it around the thing. You're like, oh, what do you do with this? Kind of kicking it over, making up new games with the flat ball.
Meanwhile, like canceling all kinds of like Martian involvement, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Telescopes going down.
It's like we might be getting closer to the outer Ponder Psyop than we thought, man. We might be in our lifetime, for sure.